What's up everyone, Solid J here, and today we're going to be taking the time to discuss my experience as a QA tester, specifically 2K games QA tester. So from the jump, I'm going to talk about how I got introduced to this job. I first came across 2K games at a job fair, and I wasn't expecting to see them at all. Usually at job fairs, I would see standard, I guess I shouldn't say standard, but more common places, like you'll see like a food, I don't know, like a food place, restaurant, or like convenience stores, etc. So you see like common stuff there usually, with a few obscure jobs available. But when I seen the 2K games table, I was like, whoa, like I never thought that I would have the opportunity to even apply for something like that. It really never came across my mind, to be honest. Even though, when I was younger, I was like, yeah, I want to work with games, I want to create games, and etc. As I got older, that just slipped my mind, to be honest. So I was very excited when I saw the table, and my friends were as well. So we went up to the table, asked some questions, learned about what the job entailed, and yeah, I was like, fuck it. I was like, might as well, So I applied, and not too much. I'm trying to think. I don't remember how long it took for them to call me, but I ended up getting a call from 2K, and this call was basically like a pre-interview. I guess I could say it was an interview to determine if you are worthy enough for an in-person interview. So I did good on that. It wasn't really hard at all, to be honest. He just asked some basic questions, asked what I was into as far as games, etc. Pretty simple, straightforward. And yeah, so leading up to the in-person interview, I'm thinking this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be like a real, I don't know, I was thinking like, I would have to dress up real nice and all that. I was just expecting it to be like scary. So, I get to the interview. Of course, I got the suit and tie, the standard interview fit. And when I walk in, I see two guys there, and they're just hella chill. They're casual fit, really laid back, and I'm like, huh, And they even told me like, yeah, you didn't even have to dress up all crazy, but not crazy. I didn't even have to dress up in a suit and tie. I could have came in like shorts and a t-shirt like them, and it would have been perfectly fine. They did appreciate that I dressed up though, so that was cool. And from that moment, I knew that the job was gonna be pretty chill. Like I knew that I would probably end up liking it, just because of how not only welcoming they were, but how laid back they were. So leading up to today's, to my, I guess my start day or whatever, I was really only concerned about how I would do on a computer. I'm not by any means tech savvy. I don't have much experience on computers, to be honest. So when I found out that I was gonna be doing all of my work on a computer, I was pretty intimidated by it, because I just didn't know what to expect. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do some like high-tech next level stuff, but it wasn't nothing like that. And yeah, it ended up being one of my favorite, if not my favorite job that I've ever done. I haven't had many, but yeah, that was definitely one of the best jobs I've had. Just as far as the overall experience, I really did enjoy that job. But I guess I should talk about the pros and cons. You know, even though I liked the job, it's definitely not for everyone. So I'll go over some of the stuff that I enjoyed. So I guess the first thing that I really liked about the job was that it was chill. It was laid back. The people were really welcoming. You know, it was easy to talk to people. You know, I would talk to random people dang near every day. You know, just during lunch or whatever. I would always talk to new people. And everyone you talked to was into the same stuff you were. You know, everyone that worked there were into games and, you know, stuff of that sort. So you always had something to start off a conversation with, you know, whether it was like, hey, like, what's your favorite game? You know, what game you working on, etc., etc. So yeah, that was like the first thing that I really liked. Second was the people are really helpful there. Like, if you are struggling in any way, you can always ask questions. You know, you can always go to someone, go to one of your higher ups or whatever, and they'll help you. You know, they don't just leave you hanging or nothing like that. And I thought that was really cool. I appreciated that. You know, I thought, especially me, like, I always ask questions. You know, I always try to get the most out of something that I can, so that I'm doing it right. You know, even though it can come off like, some people might take it as annoying that you ask a lot of questions. I feel like, hey, it's better that I ask these questions and I know what I'm doing than I don't and I just be lost. You know what I mean? And if I'm lost, that just messes up things for everyone. So yeah, that was another cool thing. The pay was pretty good, especially during crunch time. Like, once it hit crunch time, you're working like 12 hours, 12 plus hours really, with time and a half pay. So the pay was pretty good. You know, starting off it's pretty standard. Like, it's nothing bad, but you know, it's pretty standard. But once it gets to crunch time, that's when things get real. Not just with pay, but with everything else. But we'll get to that later. Another thing that I thought was cool is just you get to see things before others do. You know, you get to see games that aren't out yet. You know, you get to play games that aren't out yet, you know, and you basically, it's like getting a VIP a VIP tour into some of the new games coming out. So I thought that was cool. Oh, this was my favorite thing they now that I think about it, was probably that you get discounts, man. Like, you get discounts on everything. You know, games from the company, and even some of like the food places that were nearby where I worked, I would get discounts just for working in that area. So that was definitely one of my favorite things. Trying to think what else was cool about that place. Oh, we would have like these little gatherings every now and then, kind of like a mini party, I guess, and it was really dope. You know, we would get to meet like some of the higher ups and ask questions, you know, learn about how they got success. Got to meet like the CEO of Take-Two, I believe. I believe that was the CEO of Take-Two. Like, I don't know if I'm confusing it with 2K, because I know Take-Two is the sister company, but I got to meet the CEO. That's all I remember. That was pretty dope. And they would feed us and stuff during those little events, and even like on normal days sometimes, like when we had to come in for like overtime work, they would like give us pizza and stuff. So, you know, it was really cool, really chill stuff. And I guess the last thing that I would say I really appreciated from this job was the experience as a whole. I'm very glad I got to experience this job. I'm very glad that I didn't back out of it and that I stuck with it. Because there were times where I was like, damn, like, I don't know if I can do this, early on. But I did, and I'm glad that I didn't give up on it. It was definitely a cool experience. Now moving on though to the cons of the job. Not many, but they can be they can be deal breakers for a lot of people. I can definitely see these things being deal breakers for some people, depending on how you are. So the first thing that I could see being really annoying to some people is that being a QA tester can be very repetitive, as you would expect. Like, you're working on the same game every day, you're hearing the same music every day, you're seeing the same graphics, well, you see the graphics get improved, but you know what I mean, you're seeing the same stuff every day. Even like some of the bugs that you're trying to find are typically in the same area. Like, if you're in career mode, you're finding bugs like only in career mode. If you're in, I don't know, GM mode or play now mode or whatever, you're only going to be finding bugs in those modes for the most part. Like, there are some occasions where you'll be moved to something else, but yeah, it can be really repetitive, and I can see that being a turn off for a lot of people. And like, I got used to it, so like, I didn't think it was that bad, but that was just me personally, I don't think everyone would like it too much. But yeah, that's one con. Another one is that you're gonna be working long nights and long days. Like, once it hits crunch time, just don't expect to have any life. Like, being completely honest, I didn't have no life, man. Like, I had a girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, man, I can only see her one day, bro. And that's even if her schedule's, free at that day, you know what I mean? Like, you really didn't have no life. And when you're working, you'd be working, like I said before, like 12 plus hours. So basically the whole day, at least that's how my schedule was. I worked from like 1 to 12, 1 p.m. to 12 a.m. So yeah, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be bored, you're gonna be exhausted, you might be angry. So that was one thing that I had to mentally prepare for. And I guess during crunch time, because it is crunch time, it can be kind of pressuring. You're gonna feel like, I guess, how can I say this? You're definitely gonna feel pressure to get things done during that time, which is which I can understand, because it is like getting closer to the game's launch. That's why they push you more to like find bugs, to do specific things, and focus on getting the game as polished as possible before the game comes out. And I completely understand that, but I know for some people that might be really overwhelming. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. My experience, I guess, was better than most. Like, it could just be my perspective of things, but it wasn't that bad. But I can see someone complaining about that. I think I have heard people complain about it. But yeah, and another thing is, the developers aren't always gonna fix your bugs, and that can be kind of annoying. It annoyed me a little bit, because you go out of your way, you find a bug that you and some of your coworkers will be like, man, that's a crazy bug, like, yeah, they gotta fix this. But sometimes the developers just won't fix it, no matter how bad you think it is. Like, they might not fix it, you know. It's a 50-50 chance at times, because they either might not have the time to fix it, or they just might not see it as a much of a big deal as you see it or others see it. And that could be kind of off-putting, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, that's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, isn't that the point of our job? Like, we're supposed to find the bugs and give them to you. But not every bug is worth fixing. That's just, I guess that's just how it is. But yeah, that's about it as far as cons. I can't think of much, to be honest. Like I said, I very much enjoyed my experience there, and I would recommend it. Mind you, again, this is before the pandemic and stuff, you know. I don't know how it is now. I don't know what kind of significant changes they've made, but I would recommend it to people. You know, it was definitely worth the experience, and I would have stayed, to be honest. Like, the only reason I didn't keep doing it was because I had school, you know, and I was doing this job during the summer, so I was working like 6 days a week, and, you know, even 5 days a week, considering how much you were working or how many hours you're working. I just couldn't do that and school at the same time. But if I wasn't at school at the time, oh yeah, I would have definitely stayed. I very much enjoyed it, and I don't regret the experience, not at all. But yeah, that just about wraps things up. You know, I hope you guys got something out of this. You know, I didn't want it to be too long, even though it's pushing 20 minutes now. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, take the time to talk about myself and give y'all some insight on my life. So yeah, if you like the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep up with my gaming progress and just keep up with me in general, you can subscribe. And I believe I have my my other channel in my description as well. Well, not in my description, but on my homepage as well. So if you want to check out my art or anything like that, that's all you gotta do. I appreciate all of you who support. It truly means a lot to me, truly. And I hope that all of you have a great day or night, depending on when you watch this. But alright, man, take it easy, y'all.
This will be over soon.